This is a beginner's guide to making good Soylent. First of all, I have my powder, I have my cup, and I have access to both hot and cold water. I'm going to turn the hot water on now. First, I'm going to make a funnel. I'm just using a paper towel. I already know that it takes 1.5 scoops of powder. The consistency really is key here, so 1.5 scoops of powder to fill this with water for the proper ratio. Making sure to not pack the powder too tightly. Once you have the right amount of Soylent, which is going to take some testing, they give you guidelines, but I've altered them slightly to my own taste. This is where the hot water comes in, so make sure you have hot water ready. Not boiling water, but the hotter the better to dissolve the Soylent. One thing I like to do is twist, just to loosen up any clumps that might have formed in the scoop or in the bag itself. Just make sure you have a nice big surface area here. I tilt the bottle, have a big surface area to pour the hot water onto. It just makes it easier to dissolve. I find that tends to be like getting a clump is the worst thing that can happen. And this way, with hot water and with this at an angle as you add the water, just gives you the best chance of having everything dissolve properly. I fill it up about 1/3 of the way. Again, this is just kind of your own taste. You can try things out for yourself, but so the first thing I do, close it up, let all the powder fall in, stir it up slowly to begin, and then just kind of shake the crap out of it. The hot water is going to help dissolve this much better than cold water will. I don't know if you ever made hot chocolate with cold water instead of hot. It does not work. It gets all clumpy. This is the same thing. This is going to pop a bit, usually when you open it. Now in this case, the colder the better for the water you're going to add to the rest now that it's all dissolved. You can use ice if you want. Soylent recommends using ice. I've never used ice. At this point, you can do another round of shaking. Again, consistency is key, so doing everything the same way, at least within a close approximation every time, is going to help you maximize taste. But also consistency is key because what you want is an even consistency in the Soylent. That's how I found to get the best taste out of it. At this point, it's ready to go. If you want to mix something in, you can. I don't mix anything in. You can add salt to taste. I've seen people do that, and works pretty well for me. I'm going to do that right now. This really just brings out the flavor that already exists and makes it a bit stronger. We're used to salty food now, unfortunately, as society, so we've come to expect salt in our food. Again, the more you can shake it up, the better, but that's pretty much it. Now I know I've seen a lot of you preparing this in a glass as opposed to a jug or a mug or whatever you call this travel thing. So I'll show you the consistency that I usually end up, well, this is how I do it every day that I have Soylent, and so this is what I end up with. There's no lumps, there's no clumps. You just get a slightly frothy liquid, and I've never tried this mixed with anything. I just really like the taste plain, and so that's it. That's Soylent.